Don't go away. We shall be right back.
Herbal Heritage International, the Gokoroko, for herbal medicine, when they produce strong, correct medicine, they take it, they support with country healthcare system. Quatliman, correct bakelistic Ogbonge herbal medicine, they know they come out for public anyhow, like a big basket. Food ground, as every Christmas have been boundary. Sickness self sabi medicine will pass them. After all, monkey smart now because tree near tree is a forest. Heritage International go use the technology of computer testing machine to see and know before attacking that your health condition. When don't become umbarumba for your life with the correct treatment. Therefore, whether definition or without definition, make you visit Herbal Heritage International offices way near you. Herbal Heritage International. Now
You're welcome back to Roots and Herbs. Roots and Herbs is a program that discusses health-related challenges and suggests possible ways out from the herbal medicine perspective. Roots and Herbs is put together and sponsored by Herbal Heritage International, also known as Baba Yoruba. Baba Yoruba is currently having a special promo package. This promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. This offer runs while the stock lasts at number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. Number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. This promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. And at the same time, it will give you the privilege of meeting Baba Yoruba himself at the venue. For details and inquiries, the telephone number to call is 080 33 111 946. I repeat, 080 33 111 946. 080 33 111 946. Until we come your way again, remain blessed.
And that was a paid infomercial.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today. 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
This is the World News on your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Amaka Felix. Let's begin with the headlines. Nigerian Army dismantle illegal refining sites in ongoing crackdown on crude oil theft in Niger Delta. President Bola Tinubu extends tenure of Immigration Service Controller General Kemi Nandap till 2026. Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo assures Kano State Government of justice in killing of northern travelers in Uromi area. And on the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu summoned to testify in Qatar probe. Details in a moment. The troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army have arrested 39 suspected oil thieves and dismantled 18 illegal refining sites in the ongoing crackdown against crude oil theft, as well as other associated crimes conducted in the Niger Delta region. The operations, which were conducted across the joint operations area with sister agencies from 24 to 30 March 2025, led to the confiscation of over 60,000 liters of stolen products and other items recovered. The operations conducted in Rivers State along Chokocho Road in Iche local government area led to the interception of an inbuilt fabricated twin tank stocked with 18,000 liters of stolen products. Around Rumekpe Forest in Emoha local government area of the state, 2 illegal refining sites with over 2,800 liters of stolen products were confiscated, while other seizures were made around Ebocha Omoko in Ogba Igbema Undoni local government area. A statement by the Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Danjuma, revealed that at Okigane in southern Ijo local government area, one illegal refining site with over 1,500 liters of crude oil and 300 liters of illegally refined automotive gasoline oil was recovered. In the statement, the General Officer commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, charged the troops to upscale the crackdown against oil thieves and sustain the enabling environment for exploration activities to thrive seamlessly. He warned oil thieves to turn a new leaf and engage in legitimate means of livelihood or be ready to face the wrath of the law. Suspended River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has reassured residents that the ongoing political crisis will ultimately make them stronger, not weaker. Fubara made this remark while hosting Muslim leaders from 20 Islamic groups, including the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, at his private residence in Port Harcourt during the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Speaking to the delegation, Fubara encouraged them and his supporters to remain steadfast and trust in God's plan, admitting the crisis may be disheartening, but suggested it could be guided by higher forces. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Nelson Chukwudi, he reaffirmed his commitments to justice and equality, emphasizing his vision for a society free from oppression. He warned against those inciting violence through provocative acts, urging his supporters and Rivers people to reject elements seeking to destabilize the state. Speaking on behalf of the Muslim Ummah, Nasser Ulhor expressed unwavering support for the governor and urged President Bola Tinubu to reassess the emergency rule in Rivers State and reinstate Fubara's full authority, arguing that the governor has continued to lead effectively despite the political turmoil. The natural ruler of Opobo Kingdom in Opobo-Nkoro local government area of Rivers State, His Royal Majesty Dandison Douglas Jaja, has slammed the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, over the suspension of the State Council of Traditional Rulers, which he said is apolitical. King Jaja, who said this during a television program, insisted that Ibas should have allowed commissions, councils, agencies that are not political to function. The Amayanabo of Opobo Kingdom also said the recent declaration of emergency rule in the state by President Bola Tinubu had negatively impacted the economy of the state.
The Rivers Council of Traditional Rulers has started on its own to connect parties and to find a way to resolving the crisis before the announcement of the state of emergency and suspension of the governor, his deputy, and seem to be dismantling all institutions, even including the Rivers Council of Traditional Rulers. Traditional rulers are not politicians.
The king expressed concern over the economic consequences of the ongoing crisis, emphasizing that the unstable situation has deterred potential investors, making it difficult for businesses to operate in the state. He warned that the continued uncertainty could lead to further economic decline, affecting the livelihoods of the people. The monarch also called on the president to establish a peace panel to address the crisis and restore stability in River State, insisted that without urgent intervention, residents would continue to suffer from the effects of the political conflict. King Jaja further urged political parties in the state to engage in meaningful dialogue, emphasizing that cooperation and constructive discussions were essential for resolving the crisis and preventing further tensions.
Major impact is that of the economy. No self-contained investor will go and invest in a state that is not ruled, not democratically ruled. It's not likely the local economy will any leap. Economically, will be going down, and therefore it's necessary that everything has to be done. We appeal to Mr. President to set up the peace panel, to see to the early resolution of the crisis, so that that our people do not suffer unduly. He has done a good thing.
The Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, has reiterated its commitment to enhancing governance at the grassroots level, with a focus on improving service delivery, livelihoods, and the overall well-being of Nigerians. In a statement marking the 2025 Eid al-Fitr celebration, ALGON's national president, Bello Lawal, emphasized the association's dedication to addressing the needs of local communities. Lawal assured the public that ALGON would continue its advocacy for good governance and sustainable development in local government areas, working closely with other tiers of government, the Nigeria Governors Forum, ministries, departments and agencies, as well as development partners. The ALGON president also underscored the association's ongoing efforts to foster leadership development and adopt innovative strategies to support the rural economy. He reaffirmed that ALGON would continue to work tirelessly toward improving governance at the grassroots level, despite the various challenges that the country faces. President Bola Tinubu has approved an extension of the tenure of Kemi Nandab, the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, through December 31, 2026. Nandab began her career in the Nigerian Immigration Service on October 9, 1989, before President Tinubu appointed her as Controller General on March 1, 2024, to serve till August 31, 2025. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, the President commended the Controller General for her exemplary leadership and urged her to continue dedicating herself to the service's strategic priorities, which align with his administration's renewed hope agenda. The Nigeria Police Force has rescued 21 kidnapped victims and recovered 4.8 million naira ransom, arms and ammunition in a series of coordinated operations targeting criminal syndicates across the country. The operations carried out in Taraba and Kano states led to the arrest of 6 suspects involved in kidnapping, armed robbery, and illegal possession of firearms, further reinforcing the police's commitment to combating violent crimes. According to a statement by the force public relations officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the police remain resolute in dismantling criminal networks threatening the safety of Nigerians. The statement noted that one of the key operations took place in Taraba State, where police operatives attached to the state command, in collaboration with other security agencies, successfully rescued 20 kidnapped victims along the Takum-Mararaba Road. The rescue mission followed a fierce gun battle between the operatives and the kidnappers, during which the criminals fled, abandoning the victims and their vehicles. In the statement, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbatokun, urged Nigerians to continue providing credible information to security agencies to support the fight against crime. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. So stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebolo, has assured that justice will be served for the 16 northern travelers killed in Uromi area of the state. Speaking during a visit to Kano to commiserate with the state government and its people over the tragic incident, Okpebolo revealed that 14 suspects had been arrested in connection with the killings. Expressing his deep sorrow, the governor recounted his immediate response upon receiving the news. He assured the people of Kano that significant progress had been made in the investigation. In his response, Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf condemned any form of reprisal attacks, emphasizing that justice must be served through legal means. Yusuf urged security agencies to ensure that the suspects are publicly paraded to reassure the victims' families and the public. Meanwhile, the Osun State government has warned traditional rulers in Ifon, Ilobu, and Erin Osun communities of stern consequences, including dethronement, should communal clashes persist in their domains. Governor Ademola Adeleke issued the warning following reports of renewed tensions in the conflict-prone areas. A statement signed by the governor's spokesperson, Olawale Rashid, cautioned against any attempt to exploit the recent relaxation of the curfew for renewed violence, stressing that the state government would not hesitate to take decisive action against erring royal fathers and other actors involved in the crisis. The governor emphasized that security operatives were accelerating their investigation of key figures suspected of fueling the conflict. He also reiterated that the peace agreements signed by community leaders must be upheld, warning that any breach would have serious repercussions. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has raised concerns over the increasing number of cerebrospinal meningitis (CSM) cases across the country, saying its peak season is between November and May. The latest figures indicate a surge in infections, with 807 suspected cases and 74 deaths reported across 22 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, as of March 26, 2025. The NCDC Director General, Jide Idris, said the agency had activated emergency response measures to curb the outbreak, particularly in Kebbi, Katsina, and Sokoto states being the most affected areas. According to him, in Kebbi, health authorities confirmed over 200 suspected cases and 26 deaths since January. Cerebrospinal meningitis is a life-threatening infection of the brain and spinal cord caused by Neisseria meningitis bacteria. On the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been summoned to give evidence in a separate investigation into possible ties between his aides and Qatar. The police said two suspects in the investigation, dubbed Qatar Gate in Israel, had been arrested before this summon. The police, however, provided no further details, citing a court-ordered gag on the case. Netanyahu, who is on trial over a separate series of corruption charges, which he denied, has rejected the accusations regarding his aides and Qatar as fake news and a politically motivated campaign against him. The aides are suspected of having orchestrated or been involved in a campaign to improve Qatar's image abroad, but they denied any wrongdoing. Netanyahu had earlier named a new chief to take over Israel's domestic intelligence agency after a bitter standoff with the current head, who has been presiding over the Qatar investigation together with the police. In sports, Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has confirmed that Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro are fit and available for their Premier League trip to Nottingham Forest on Tuesday. Maguire missed United's last four fixtures since he was injured in an FA Cup tie against Fulham. Meanwhile, Yoro has been unavailable since he went off at half-time of the league game at home to Arsenal 2 games ago. United's defence will be further strengthened by Patrick Dorgu's return for the trip to the City ground. Dorgu has finished serving a 3-match domestic suspension. Amorim also said Luke Shaw, Kobe Mainoo and Johnny Evans could be back in action soon, while Aiden Heaven will definitely play again this season after he was carried off at Leicester City in the last game before the international break. To end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. The Nigerian army has dismantled illegal refining sites in an ongoing crackdown on crude oil theft in the Niger Delta region. President Bola Tinubu has extended the tenure of Immigration Service Controller General Kemi Nandap till 2026. We told you that the Edo State Governor Mandi Okpebolo has assured the Kano State government of justice in the killing of 16 northern travelers in Uromi area. And on the foreign scene, you heard that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been summoned to testify in a Qatar probe. Stella Sasongo Okorie edited the news. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. Read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Amaka Felix. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Want to know what's happening? Get latest information in sports, politics, lifestyle, you name it. The frequency of choice. Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. We serve you the latest updates on everything. Today 95.1 FM. We are the voice of the people.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight,
let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with D. Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
In a world where innocence should be cherished and childhood dreams allowed to flourish, there exists a painful reality that we must confront, a reality known as child abuse and neglect. Every child deserves to grow up in an environment filled with love, care, and safety. But sadly, not all children are fortunate enough to experience this. A survey revealed that 6 out of 10 Nigerian children experienced at least one form of violence before they are 18. In May 2022, a public opinion poll revealed statistics as 88% of adult Nigerians admitted the prevalence of child abuse, while 51% of adult Nigerians also acknowledge personally seeing abusive treatment in their localities. Child abuse and neglect come in many forms: physical, emotional, and even neglectful acts of omission. These acts can leave deep scars, both visible and hidden, on a child's heart and soul. It's crucial for all of us to stand together against this injustice. We can be the voice that these vulnerable children desperately need. We must recognize the signs, report suspicions, and provide support to those affected. We have the power to break the cycle of abuse and neglect. Let us strive to create a world where every child feels safe, valued, and loved. A world where their laughter can flourish and their dreams can take flight. Join us in raising awareness, advocating for change, and championing the rights of every child. Together, we can make a difference and ensure that no child ever has to endure the pain of abuse or neglect. It's time to be the change, to protect the most vulnerable among us. Let us work hand in hand to build a brighter, safer future for our children. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Bunkrick
is a legal act of smuggling crude oil from pipelines and storage facilities, which poses significant dangers to Nigerian society. This activity has different consequences that affect various aspects of the nation's well-being, and it has consequences such as untimely death, environmental devastation. It fuels insecurity. It also damages our infrastructure, and it also damages our international prestige. You might say, how do we make a living if we stop this illegal activity? Well, as a young individual, you can channel your energy into positive endeavors that can help you generate income and create an adequate future for yourself. These are some ideas to help you generate income. You can go into starting a business. You can also acquire digital skills or gain agricultural knowledge or engage in farming. You can also acquire art and creativity. You talk about technology and innovation. Then, skills and vocational training. Please note that success often requires dedication, consistency, and continuous learning. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Every day, we hear reports about counterfeit products, stories of fake drugs, foods, expired goods and other consumables being manufactured, imported and sold to unsuspecting members of the public. Findings reveal that Africa records at least 100,000 deaths from fake drugs-related ailments yearly. These fake and substandard products, particularly drugs, have been considered a global threat to human lives. And despite efforts by authorized agencies in Nigeria to combat the menace, the Nigerian market remains flooded with different unwholesome products. This is a plea to all those who manufacture and sell these goods to desist. Stop this menace of counterfeit products. Let's place value on human lives. And should you have purchased a counterfeit product or unsatisfied with the product, please contact SON or Consumer Protection Agency. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Reggae. It's been a long time. You know on the five like this. Reggae music again. Reggae me like this. 95.1 Today FM here in Port Harcourt. We are coming on the dance. One them place Skinner Station. Feed them man them call Stenless. One them place with the man them call Bacaro. We are going run one since Chandon Babylon like the word of Jericho Kandama. Yes, I 95.1 Today FM. Giving peace to the nation through reggae music. Yes, every Friday 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Reggae, we come to play with the people, man. All of you who are not on our reggae conversation. If you are listening, because we are talking about reggae things, man. We are things are done, we done. We are don't know if you are no what we are no on them station. Reggae. Every Friday 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. As I go back my window and dance through my window, I realize there's no turning back. Got to complete life's journey, though things get kind of but got to make it to the top. See, I'm searching for a way to survive. Working so hard, I know job will provide. But see, I'm keeping my head high. Mama tell me the
limit. It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race with deadlines, the intrigues, power play, on the currents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore.
As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt.
Weekdays, 4 p.m.
Get on the platform on radio and be served.
After Oxygen, entertainment has to be the next best thing.
Because every chapter is unexpected.
At Today 95.1 FM, we know we entertain better, so we do it.
Life is too short to overthink your overthinking. So join us at 11 a.m. every weekday.
Let's give you a taste of sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Entertainment Today.
The ultimate entertainment extravaganza.
All right, all you need to know about this one is that
95.1 FM? Such a unique style.
What's a successful business without sales? And what is sales without an audience? Well, do you know that you can reach 8 million listeners across 6 states in 2 geopolitical zones all at once? How? With Today 95.1 FM, you can get millions of people to know about your business. And what does that mean to you? More sales. Call 081 389 2850 now for more information.
Hey, you want to speed drive? Come on, go to the racetrack. You want to smoke? Not on the steering wheel. Do you want to drink alcohol? Don't do it on wheels. Go to a bar and don't drive afterwards. Seat belts are not for fancy. They're there to save your life. Know your traffic rules and obey them because they're for your own good. Drive with care because life is dear.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, Voice of the People. It is time again for a rundown of the foreign news that made the headlines on the world today. I am Amaka Felix. In the headlines, Sudanese army chief vows to defeat RSF. Trump threatens tariffs on Russia if ceasefire not agreed. Red Cross warns against outrageous killing by Israeli forces in Gaza. Prince Harry accused of executing bullying and harassment campaign. Details in a bit. A surge of plastic bags, commonly referred to as Buvira, is extending its reach beyond urban areas in Uganda. This issue has long plagued the landscape of Kampala, the capital, where Buvira have become intertwined with everyday life. It is reported that they are usually found layered in the dirt of excavated roads and obstructing waterways. But alarmingly, these bags are now appearing in remote farmland as well, including the thick plastic used for planting coffee seeds in nurseries. Research continues to reveal that tiny microplastics disrupt ecosystems and infiltrate human bodies, raising concerns among scientists, farmers, and consumers about their impact on health. Sudanese Army Abdel Fattah al-Burhan Sudanese Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has vowed to crush the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, ruling out any reconciliation. Abdel reaffirmed that the army would neither forgive nor negotiate with the RSF, while also offering amnesty to fighters who lay down their arms and repent to the truth. Earlier, the army announced that it had taken control of a major market in Omdurman, Khartoum's twin city, which the RSF had used to launch attacks during the ongoing war. The army also claimed victory over the RSF in Khartoum, stating they now control most of the capital, including the vital commercial hub of Souk, Libya. The conflict between the army and RSF has escalated ethnic violence, created a humanitarian crisis, and led to widespread famine. A heartbreaking event has shaken the boxing world as Gabriel Oluwasegun, a light heavyweight boxer from Nigeria, collapsed in the ring during a professional match in Accra. He was later declared dead at the Korle Bull Teaching Hospital in the early hours of the weekend yesterday. The session, an international 8-round contest organized by Osibor Boxing Promotions, was in its third round when tragedy struck. The fighters were engaged in an intense exchange of jabs when Gabriel suddenly stepped back, lost his footing, and fell heavily to the canvas. Referee Richard Amevi quickly recognized that Gabriel was unresponsive, stopping the mandatory count and summoning the ring doctor and emergency medical team. Away from Africa now to the rest of the world. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has said that people smugglers have exploited fragmented policing, border force and intelligence agencies to smuggle thousands of illegal immigrants into the UK. Keir Starmer said poor organisation had meant the UK was a soft touch on illegal immigration, which smugglers took as an open invitation. The Prime Minister made the case for tackling illegal migration like terrorism as he spoke at the first ever organised Immigration Crime Summit in London, attended by more than 40 countries, alongside tech giants like Meta, X and TikTok. The Conservatives said the conference will make no difference and only Rwanda-style deportations would stop illegal migration. Keir is keen for the UK to be seen as leading the global response to illegal migration, a key issue for the government politically, with both the Conservatives and Reform UK accusing Labour of failing to get a grip on the issue. The chairperson of an African charity co-founded by Prince Harry has accused the royal of orchestrating a bullying and harassment campaign to try to force her out as she pushed back following his abrupt resignation from the organization. The Centre Bali chair, Sophie Chandelka, took several shots at Harry in which he described how the prince's Netflix deal interfered with a scheduled fundraiser and how an incident with his wife, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, became a source of friction. The Duke of Sussex started a breakdown in the relationship between board members and Chandelka when he resigned as a patron of the charity who he co-founded nearly 20 years ago in memory of his late mother, Princess Diana. Harry and co-founder Prince Seeiso of Lesotho said in a joint statement that they quit with heavy hearts as patrons in support of the trustees in their dispute with Chandelka. Chandelka said she reported Centre Bali's trustees to the Charity Commission in the UK and filed papers in a British court to prevent her removal. The deputy of the French National Assembly, Marine Le Pen, has been found guilty of misappropriating European funds to finance her far-right national rally, RN Party, in a case which could lead to her being barred from standing in the 2027 presidential election. Le Pen was accused, along with more than 20 other senior party figures, of hiring assistants who worked on her RN Party affairs rather than for the European Parliament, which paid them. Prosecutors last year said Le Pen's punishment should be not just a €300 fine and prison term, but also ineligibility from running for public office for 5 years. Crucially, he said the ineligibility should kick in straight away and not be suspended pending appeal. The judge has not yet said what the sentence will be. Elon Musk has handed $1 million checks to 2 Wisconsin voters as he promotes a conservative candidate in the state's upcoming Supreme Court election. The tech billionaire, a close ally of President Donald Trump, handed out the oversized checks at a rally in Green Bay, increasing the spending in what is already the most expensive judicial race in U.S. history. The April 1 election pits conservative candidate Brad Schimmel against the Democrats' Susan Crawford, holding a 4-3 majority on the court. The billionaire has become heavily involved in the judicial election, which is seen as an early referendum on Trump's controversial first few weeks in the White House. He also insists that liberals will seek to use the Wisconsin court to change voting districts and thus affect future election results in the swing state, should they win. The U.S. President Donald Trump has said that all countries will be hit by his planned tariffs. He has also threatened Russia with new taxes should the country's President Vladimir Putin not cooperate towards achieving a ceasefire in Ukraine. The U.S. President Trump told newsmen that he and Putin had always gotten along well and that he did not think Putin was going to go back on his word. The Prime Minister's official spokesman says that talks on an economic deal between the two countries had been constructive but were likely to last beyond Wednesday, when President Trump is set to impose tariffs. The spokesman also stated that when it comes to tariffs, the Prime Minister has been clear he will always act in the national interest, and they've been preparing for all eventualities ahead of the announcement from President Trump, which they would expect the UK to be impacted by alongside other countries. Saying there is a constructive discussion on the US-UK economic prosperity deal, but will only do a deal which delivers economic prosperity for the British people and will only act on national interests. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies have said it is outraged that 8 Palestinian medics were killed, along with 6 civil defense first responders and a UN staff member, by Israeli forces in southern Gaza earlier this month. According to a UN official, 15 bodies were recovered yesterday, using 5 ambulances and a fire truck were dispatched to help injured people, as well as a UN vehicle, were struck in the Al-Hashin area on 23 March 2025. The Palestine Red Crescent Society also stated that a 9th medic still remained missing and accused Israeli forces of targeting staff carrying out humanitarian duties. The IFRC has said in a statement yesterday that the 8 bodies of PRCS medics were retrieved after 7 days of silence and having access denied to the area of Rafah where they were last seen. Earlier today, the IDF has issued a sweeping new evacuation order for the entire Rafah region, telling all residents to head towards the nearby Al-Mawasi humanitarian zone for their safety. Stock markets have fallen in Asia after President Donald Trump suggested the new tariffs he is set to announce this week will hit all countries, not just those that have the biggest trade imbalances with the US. Trump made the comments as he prepares to unveil a massive slate of import taxes on Wednesday in what he has called America's Liberation Day. The measures will come on top of tariffs already imposed by Washington on aluminium, steel, and vehicles, along with increased levies on all goods from China. But he said his administration would be far more generous and kinder than the countries had been to the US. With 48 hours to go before the tariffs come into force, the UK is still locked in talks with the US about an exemption. Concerns about a trade war are unsettling markets and creating fears of a recession in the US. The federal funding cuts have thrown local food systems in Wisconsin and across the U.S. into chaos. This month, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that it is terminating 2025 funding for two pandemic-era initiatives, the Local Food Purchase Assistance and the Local Food for Schools programs. The initiatives together provided over $1 billion to farmers in 40 states, supplying fresh foods to banks, pantries, and schools. The USDA has previously signed a contract in January committing to fund Wisconsin's LFPA program for 2025, according to the State Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection. However, a USDA spokesperson told newsmen the decision was part of a broader effort to transition away from temporary pandemic-era programs and focus on long-term, fiscally responsible initiatives. That story from US concludes tonight's edition of The World Today as produced by Treasure Onodu of the News Department. But before we go, here is a summary of the stories that made the headline. Sudanese army chief vows to defeat RSF. We told you that Trump has threatened tariffs on Russia if ceasefire is not agreed. You heard that Red Cross has warned against outrageous killing by Israeli forces in Gaza. And finally, you heard that Prince Harry has been accused of executing bullying and harassment campaign. Till same time tomorrow, do have a lovely evening and thank you for listening.
Unleash the power of the airwaves with the ultimate radio experience. Tune in to Today95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Don't just listen, immerse yourself.
That is 100% true.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight, the night
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with D. Amaka Felix on Today95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
BBC World Service. I'm Audrey Brown in London with Focus on Africa. On the trail of scammers who offer fake documents and false promises of work in the United Kingdom.
Paying Dr. Alanime over £10,000 when he got to the UK with all of the money he has paid him, then he realized there was nothing for him over there.
We'll be following up on an Africa Eye investigation. Why is Kenya cozying up to Kosovo by recognizing its claim to independence from Serbia, an ally of Nairobi's? And Ghana's Chief Justice has 10 days to respond to demands that she step down. Why does this matter to Ghanaians?
I think that
the habits of all political appointees being taken out of office and new ones being brought in to serve political interests is rather unfair, and it is going to go against the constitution and everything about Ghana.
That's all on the BBC Tonight in Focus. First, the news.
I'm Debbie Russ with the BBC News. Hello. The French far-right leader Marine Le Pen has been banned from running for public office for 5 years after being found guilty of embezzlement. Ms Le Pen was sentenced to 4 years in prison, half of it suspended, after being convicted of diverting European parliamentary allowances. Here's Hugh Schofield.
Marine Le Pen had been expecting a guilty verdict, but not this. The court's president decided to follow to the letter the recommendations of the state prosecutor. A prison term to be served at home with an electronic bracelet, a fine, but also a 5-year period of ineligibility. Crucially, that period of 5 years kicks in straight away. What it means, bluntly, is that she's out of the presidential election of 2027, an election in which, according to the polls today, she is by far the most popular candidate.
A religious leader in the city of Mandalay in Myanmar said the humanitarian situation there following the earthquake was dire. Frightened and homeless people are camping out in the streets for a 4th night. But the country's secretive and isolated army leaders have given few details about the scale of the devastation. Myanmar's army is reported to have launched ground attacks against rebel groups in the region worst affected by the quake. A spokesperson for the People's Defence Forces, which opposes the ruling junta, said they'd been shelled in the Sagaing region. Dr. Wing Mya-A, a member of the National Unity Government, which represents the ousted civilian administration, told the BBC the military government had not responded to requests for a ceasefire.
Fighting is continuing from their side. Near the Mandalay, in some townships, they have the heavy weapon shooting inside some townships. The main thing is not only NUG, but also some revolutionary forces have extended their will to help, but there is no signal or no response from the military to those offers.
Russia has sought to play down President Trump's remarks over the weekend that he's angry with Vladimir Putin over his delaying tactics regarding a ceasefire in Ukraine. The Kremlin spokesman said President Putin remained open to contact with Donald Trump. Steve Rosenberg is in Moscow.
Generally, the message, I think, from the Kremlin is keep calm and carry on. Perhaps that is because the Kremlin realizes that you have to be cautious about some of Donald Trump's comments. You know, we've seen before that what Donald Trump says one day can change dramatically, diametrically, the next day. Yes, he criticised Russia and Vladimir Putin, said he was very angry, and yet also, the following day, he said President Zelensky would have big problems if Ukraine tries to pull out of the critical minerals deal. So you never know exactly where you are in terms of what Donald Trump is thinking.
Steve Rosenberg reporting from Moscow. World News from the BBC. Wall Street has opened sharply lower amid President Trump's plans to announce more tariffs on Wednesday. The falls in New York followed those across Asia and Europe, as investors worry that Mr. Trump's plans to tax imports will hit the global economy. He says this will protect American jobs, but in the short term, the taxes are likely to stoke inflation, especially if other countries retaliate. The Israeli military says it's killed 50 Hamas fighters in central and northern Gaza and destroyed a kilometre-long network of hidden tunnels. Civilian casualties, however, continue to mount, with Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry saying the number of people killed in Israeli strikes since the collapse of the ceasefire has passed 1,000. There's been little let-up in the Israeli offensive, with the IDF ordering residents in the Rafah area to leave immediately. At least 5 people have died in an explosion at a coal mine in northern Spain. 4 others have been seriously injured. The cause of the blast isn't yet clear, but there are accounts of a machine having exploded at the Cerrado mine in Dagana in the Asturias region. The British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has met the creators of the Netflix miniseries Adolescence to highlight the impact of social media on teenagers. It explores how the views of children can be shaped online. Sir Keir said there was no simple solution to stop boys from being encouraged into misogyny. He welcomed the Netflix decision to make the series available to watch in schools across Britain.
That sense that I think we all have, that our children might be most at risk when they're out and about, out of the house, on the streets, is now being overtaken by sort of almost a greater danger, which is what's happening in the home, what's happening in the bedroom, in the places where they're on their own. And the content that can be accessed, glorifying violence, encouraging hatred. And then there's this sense of where actually can children be safe.
That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Hello, I'm Audrey Brown, and today in Focus on Africa, what are the consequences for Kenya in cozying up to Kosovo, an Eastern European territory that is not officially recognized by the United Nations or by Serbia, an ally of Nairobi's?
By recognizing Kosovo, the big question for Kenya should be, what is it that we have between us and Serbia that we could stand to lose, all right?
So what can Kenya stand to lose?
Number one, the diplomatic relations and close friends of Serbia. For example, if Kenya was selling things to those parts of the world in Europe, those things are not going through anymore.
And Ghana's Chief Justice has 10 days to respond to allegations that she has abused her power under a previous government. Why is the issue receiving so much attention in Ghana?
Oh, it's a huge deal for Ghana because it would literally set a precedent that any new president that feels as if the last Chief Justice was quite partisan to the other party could use this precedent to remove any Chief Justice.
It's Monday, the 31st of March. First, we go to Nigeria. A BBC investigation has found the UK visa system is being undermined by scammers who are swindling people out of thousands of pounds by promising them jobs here, which often do not exist. Experts say this shows the UK's health and care workers' visa scheme is ripe for abuse. I spoke to the BBC's Africa Eye reporter Olaronke Alo in Lagos about the investigation.
I think it's safe to say that we didn't think they were scammers when we came across them on social media. We saw people call both parties that we investigated. We saw people call them out for COS scam on social media, and then we decided to investigate. So we had two undercover journalists. One sent to meet with Dr. Kelvin Alaneme, the Nigerian doctor, and it was when our undercover journalist had a chat with him that we realized that he's actually selling certificates of sponsorship. That's the COS scam that's been called out for. And, some other deals it was also offering our undercover journalists. And then the second person, who is relocation agent, that's Nana Akwesi Agiman Prempe from Ghana. And then he proposed he was going to sell him some certificates of sponsorship. And then we spoke to their victims, and they narrated how they were being scammed out of thousands of pounds.
So Dr. Kelvin Alanime, is he actually a doctor?
From what we see on social media, his profile reads that he is a doctor on LinkedIn, on his Facebook page, on all of his social media pages. And he also claimed he has worked for the NHS in the UK in the field of psychiatry. But then we also tried to dig in deep. We saw that he's registered on the Royal College of Psychiatrists as a UK-based psychiatrist, although he registered under the training, which is like a pre-membership psychiatric training.
So what are they selling?
So what they're selling is called the Certificate of Sponsorship. The Certificate of Sponsorship means for every individual outside the UK, if you want to get a job in the UK, you will be offered what is called a COS job. What does this mean? It means that this certificate of sponsorship, it is essential for any migrant who wants to come to work in the UK to have this. This is what they use to apply for visa, and they get a workers or skilled workers permit. Now, this COS is a key component of the UK's immigration system, both for the migrant side and even for the hire company side. The company then recruits the employees and assigns this COS to them. So with a valid COS, the migrants can apply for a skilled worker visa or any of its subtype, like the healthcare and care worker visa. But we realized that they ask some of these migrants to pay for what they call a package.
So what did they believe they were actually buying, and what it would get them when they got here?
Yes, so they did believe that they were paying for this package. So when you pay for it, Your accommodation is sorted in the UK. When you get to the UK, you get to start a job. You get a job offer, and then you get to start a job. Your accommodation is paid for, logistics is paid for, some part of your feeding is paid for, and some trainings are paid for with that money. So when the person I spoke with, that's the victim of Dr. Alaneme now, who is praised, who left Nigeria, paying Dr. Alaneme over £10,000, when he got to the UK with all of the money he has paid him, then he realized there was nothing for him over there.
When I came in, there was no job, there was no pay, there was nothing.
So that was when he felt like he's been scammed out of his money.
And how did he find that out?
So when he got to the UK, they kept postponing, and then he was there in the UK for months, for days, months and months, and then he realized nothing was coming forth from them.
So what did Dr. Kelvin Alanime and Nana Ajiman Aprempe say? Did you approach them at all and confront them with the evidence of these people that had accused them of scamming them?
Yes, Dr. Kelvin Alaneme, he rejects the allegations. He says that his company, which is Career Edu, under which he operates, he says that his services are not a scam. He did say that Career Edu does not offer employment or even act as recruitment agency or provide jobs in return for cash. And then he says his company only offers legitimate services, which includes visa applications, flight bookings, if you're applying for a job abroad. And then he also introduces candidates to recruitment agencies. So he denies that he provides jobs in return for cash. And then in the right of reply that we sent to him, we asked him about Praise. And he says that the money that Praise paid, he passed it on to a recruitment agent who said the money will be used for Praise's transport, training, and accommodation. And then he also says that at a point, he did offer to help Praise find another employer free of charge. And from Nana Akwesi Agiman Prempe, he did not send us formal response, but then one of our journalists did speak with him. And Nana says that he was also a victim of a scam. And he has been duped into accepting, because what we did face, the allegations against him were fake certificates. So he says he was also duped into accepting these fake certificates, which he had innocently passed on to victims. And he says that he's not authorized to issue certificates of sponsorships. So that's the response we got from them.
And that's the Africa Eye reporter Olaronke Alo in Lagos. And to watch the full investigation, Africa Eye Stranded, it's called, exposing the UK's immigration scammers. This is now available on BBC iPlayer and BBC News Africa YouTube channel. For territories like Taiwan, Somaliland, and Kosovo, the struggle for recognition is real. These are places that want to come out from under the influence of a recognized state. China in the case of Taiwan, Somalia in the case of Somaliland, and Serbia in the case of Kosovo. They find themselves in that position due to wars, history, and diplomatic maneuvers. Kosovo declared independence in 2008 following the massive implosion of a country that used to be called Yugoslavia during the time of the Soviet republics. I will direct you to the wonders of the internet to find out more, but while you are here, let's continue with the story, because Kosovo, the capital of which is Pristina, has found another diplomatic ally in Kenya, bringing to more than 100 the number of countries that recognize its claim. Thing is, some of Kenya's allies, including Serbia, are not happy with this. Kenya says it recognizes Kosovo in the interests of international peace and security and the strengthening of relations with countries in the Balkans. But Serbia condemns the action, calling it unacceptable and unfriendly. So what gives? Why is Kenya stirring up a situation that, on the face of it, it doesn't have to get involved in? Dr. Edgar Githua is an expert in international relations, diplomacy, and governance. So he can...
Officially, but now it becomes controversial, especially because Kenya has done it and broken that jinx, broken that stalemate, whereas it's like there was an unwritten rule that everybody goes slow until some things get formalized between Kosovo and Serbia before they sort out their own internal issues.
So let's talk about Serbia and Kosovo then. What are the issues between them?
Kosovo wants to break away. In the 1990s, they were all parts of a bigger country called Yugoslavia, and there was a very brutal warfare that broke out in that country, pitting Serbs, Croats, Bosnians. Yugoslavia, a big country that was under the communist bloc, disintegrated into harsh ethnic cleansing, violent genocide, based on ethnicity and a lot of racism between themselves. The country disintegrated into very many small countries.
Most of those states have been recognized because we have Serbia, we have Croatia, etc. What was the difficulty with Kosovo being recognized?
So Serbia still claims that Kosovo is part of its territory. Just like maybe an analogy I could try and give, probably the closest maybe to our viewers, is Somalia and Somaliland. Somaliland feeling, yes, we speak the same language, we share culture, but we want our own separate country. So Kosovo, Serbia claims Kosovo is still part of its territory and does not want it to break away and secede, as we call it in international relations.
So what's the history between Kenya and Kosovo then? Why is Kenya doing this now?
Kenya is recognizing Kosovo because of a meeting that occurred sometime in 2023. I think the Kenyan president met a delegation on one of those external trips, met the delegation from Kosovo, and I think they had started those informal talks. So Kenya recognizing Kosovo here is Kenya, I think, feeling like if 100 other countries have recognized Kosovo, why not us?
So what's the issue?
The issue is because we have very strong ties with Serbia. We recognized Serbia a long time ago. We share diplomatic relations with them. They have an ambassador in the country. Serbia is feeling betrayed because in international relations, when you have friendly relations with another country, you expect them to support your stance. They are enemies to be your enemies, so to speak. They expect you to pretty much not do anything to interfere or rock their boat. So Kenya recognizing Kosovo is creating a problem for Serbia because it means the more countries recognize Kosovo, the bigger their claim becomes, and eventually Serbia will have no choice but to agree to fully recognize them as an independent state. So it is Serbia scrambling to say, to simply tell countries of the world, do not complicate this thing for us. It is an internal issue. And so Kenya has gone ahead and recognized Kosovo, and Kenya is saying we are not the only ones. 105 other countries have done it. So
tell us a little bit about those other countries, just off the top of your head. Some of them in Africa, some of them, the world superpowers. Do they recognize?
Yeah, let's start with the big
Kosovo as well. Yeah.
Let's start with the big superpowers: the US, the UK. Many countries, many of the powerful countries in Europe, have recognized Kosovo. Let's say the dominant West, Canada, have recognized Kosovo. But now why Kosovo gets a problem is that in the Security Council, where the major decisions of the UN, where the final steps of the decisions of the UN have got to get endorsement, China and Russia are very close allies of Serbia. And China and Russia have stood with Serbia in not recognizing Kosovo. So whenever Kosovo has brought up the issue of a declaration and saying it wants to be recognized, Russia and China, and especially Russia, has vetoed that at the Security Council. Hence, Kosovo has never been fully accepted in the United Nations as a recognized country.
So is this Kenya declaring once again where it stands in the international great game of diplomacy and geopolitical alliances? It allies itself with the US, it allies itself with the West rather than with China and Russia.
Exactly. That is what Kenya has inadvertently done, even though probably
Do you think it's inadvertent? Kenya's not, it recognizes these political games on the international stage. Couldn't have been inadvertent. It's making a point, isn't it?
But you see now Kenya is caught in between a rock and a hard place because, look, it has very close ties with Beijing and warming up with Russia, and also very strong ties with the West. So when you are caught in between this global power play, when you speak aside, there are consequences that come. There are consequences.
What could those consequences be?
Serbia could now recall its ambassador from Kenya. But in geopolitics and in global politics, if you start making enemies of countries like Russia and China, and you have very strong trading, let's say, relations with them, those ones begin to suffer. So by recognizing Kosovo, Kenya, the big question for Kenya should be, what is it that we have between us and Serbia that we could stand to lose? All right?
So what can Kenya stand to lose?
Number one, the diplomatic relations. And close friends of Serbia, for example, if Kenya was selling things to those parts of the world in Europe, those things are not going through anymore.
That's Dr. Edgar Gidua, an expert in international relations, diplomacy, and governance. This is Focus on Africa from the BBC World Service. The normally staid circles of the courts is in a bit of a flurry in Ghana these days because there are 3 petitions to remove the Chief Justice from office. President John Mahama has given Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo 10 days to respond to the demands which allege misconduct and an abuse of power. The debate has escaped the confines of the court and is widely discussed around the country. People have been debating this since January, when a similar call was rejected by then-President Nana Akufo-Addo just before he left office to make way for John Mahama, who became president on the 7th of January. Let's hear what some people in Accra think about this legal tussle.
I think that the habits of all political appointees being taken out of office and new ones being brought in to serve political interests is rather unfair, and it is going to go against the constitution and everything about Ghana.
You have done nothing wrong. If you have done something wrong, fine. But this one, the whole nation knows that you have done nothing wrong, unless the political people.
The current Chief Justice hasn't been fair to the people of Ghana. For example, when the parliamentary case was taken to being the minority and the majority side, she was supposed to leave it for the parliament to deal with their own, but she intervened in it, which I think is not her field.
President John Mahama's directive came after consultations with the Council of State, which is a constitutional body that advises the president on judicial appointments. For her part, Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo has asked that she be allowed to respond to the allegations. But what is actually going on, and what is at stake for Ghana? Amanda Akukwo Clinton is a lawyer with extensive experience in litigation and constitutional law.
Well, what's going on is, on the ground in Ghana, what actually happened is, under the last administration, which is the Akufo-Addo government, NPP, a lot of people in society looked at the situation and said, you know, it seems like a lot of cases, an unusually high amount of cases, are in favor of the NPP in terms of anything that went to the Supreme Court. I would go so far to say that 96% of the cases went in favor of the NPP. And so it really frustrated this government's efforts in terms of NDC's efforts when they were trying to mount claims against the NPP or trying to move things in government, etc. So that is the background of why people think this is coming about.
So they're accusing the Chief Justice of showing favor to the last government, basically. So they're saying that she was politically motivated in the findings of the court.
Well, that's what a lot of people in society would say, and that's what a lot of people within NDC would say. Although they have said publicly this is not politically motivated, due process will occur, you know, but it would be unprecedented because no Chief Justice has been removed or impeached under the 92 Constitution, even though people have tried before.
Is President Mahama then following the due processes in requesting her that she respond within 10 days? He made this on March 28th, he asked the Chief Justice 10 days to respond within 10 days to these petitions that were submitted in February and March.
Yes, he is, because Article 146 is actually silent as to whether she's allowed to, you know, make submissions. But, you know, in the interest of justice, it is important for her views to be presented. For instance, it's a very peculiar role in terms of she has huge discretion to issue practice directions because she sees something's going wrong within the court, so she issues it, and she can repanel a moving case, like a case at any stage of the proceedings.
So the previous government under Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo had denied a petition of somebody accusing her of abusing her powers, basically.
Yes, Professor Asari.
Right. So there's a few more still. And do we know who these petitioners are, the outstanding ones?
No, I think the government is keeping that quite close to them because they wanted everything to be private, everybody says, and yet there were lots of leaks. But she will be given an opportunity to say why she behaved in certain ways. And if her role, as I've said, is quite peculiar in terms of the powers given to her and her discretion, she will at least be able to respond And if she does so effectively, they may indeed say that there is no prima facie case and it's just, frivolous and vexatious, and leave the matter there. But secretly, I think we all suspect that it is slightly politically motivated.
What does this actually mean for Ghana? Because people listening to this would be wondering, yeah, so what? It seems like it's political contestation. What's the big deal?
Oh, it's a huge deal for Ghana because it would literally set a precedent that any new president that comes in and feels as if, in their opinion, the last Chief Justice was quite partisan to the other party and frustrated all their efforts, could use this precedent to remove any Chief Justice if this precedent is set. So it's a massive deal, and it's a massive deal because of the separation of powers, which means that a lot of concentration of power is, of course, in the judiciary. And if the head of the judiciary can so easily be removed by any government that comes in, then it will set a bad precedent that every president in future can just utilize if they hold her account to the fact that a lot of cases are not going their way.
What's at stake?
Everything is at stake because it's any time a precedent is set, particularly one that hasn't been made, it would mean that if this is not thrown out as frivolous and vexatious, and she's actually impeached and removed, it means that every subsequent government who feels as if 90% of cases at the Supreme Court went against them can use, this article to just consult with the Council of State and remove that Chief Justice at will every single time, and then just sort of justify it. So a lot is at stake for this provision, basically.
And are Ghanaians looking at this with great interest, or are they shrugging their shoulders and saying, well, it's something that probably doesn't affect us in our day-to-day life, so, let them fight it out?
Oh, Ghanaians are looking at this with great interest just because they know the significance of the role. But I think a lot of Ghanaians also do feel that the cases that went before the Supreme Court, I would say more than 90% went in favor of the last government. But I do think a lot of people say that, the government and the judiciary, some would argue, were hand in hand, and this is what they get for that. Whereas as legal practitioners, we would say that, look into the petitions before the Council of State. Is it evidence-based? Is it not speculative, not rumour? But a lot is at stake, and everybody's looking at this case, basically.
Amanda Akukuo Clinton, expert in litigation and constitutional law. Focus on Africa was fashioned by the efforts of Amy Leibovitz, Nyasha Michelle, and Sunita Nahar here in London. Franny Joey did her bit from Nairobi. Daniel Dadzi was in Accra. Patricia Whitehorn was the senior journalist in charge. Gabriel O'Regan, the technical producer. Andre Lombard and Alice Muvengi are our editors. I'm Audrey Brown, and we'll talk again next time.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight, the night.
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey. Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. Beneath the Night Sky with D. Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
think you're my soulmate. I know I'm in love. It's what I feel when I'm with you. You take my breath away. I think you're my soulmate. Because I bet fell for more Meji when we go I bet fell for more Meji when we go I bet fell for more Meji when we go because I know I'm in love. I know what I'm in love. I know when I'm in love. Yeah. I bet fell no Meji when we go be back there, go Jamie. Be back there, go Jamie. See, your love they drive me crazy. Yeah. I'm in love with you. Something tells me you're my affair. Yeah. I'm in love with the things you do. This love I get from you. I can't be far from anywhere. So I say, I bet fellow Mejibo Kola shower.
To be my wife, to have and to hold from this day.
Obi Mo, I love you all of my life.
There's something I've been meaning to tell you. It's about time I let you know how I feel. Let me get a little deeper, boy, you're a keeper. I need to show you how you did give me fever. Keep your pills, I ain't sick. I don't say this to just any time I take a Harry. You make me fly like I'm a fairy in a fairy tale. Happily ever after, our love won't fail. Your love they do to me.
Every time I think how love's supposed to be, I look into your eyes, girl, and what I see is you loving me, and I'm loving you. As long as I breathe, that's how we should be. Yeah. Obi Mo,
some more,
Obi Mo,
baby more.
When you're mine,
walk on
my little. So another man no go come they shop up. Cause my life's in the chapter. Girl, I'm doing it right this time. So stay on proper. Girl, you got me flowing like a rapper. Till the man papa, I dey come to my
Look, it doesn't even matter what people think about my singing voice, so I know we agreed that I should not sing, but guys, some songs just call me, you know, the way that the sea calls Moana. So you know how the sea calls Moana, right? That's how some songs call me. Yay! How are you doing, beautiful people? How are you? How did your day go? I hope you're okay. Well, it's lovey-dovey season, guys. I'm here, and I decided I wanted to do, you know, some old songs, because if I don't do it, waiting again, you know. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't know, but I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to, you know, just enjoy myself, basically. Anyway, my darlings, you're welcome to tonight's episode of WW. Tonight, the matter waiting for ground in Rapper. But it's a conversation that we need to have, right? It's a conversation we need to have because why not? Yes. We will talk, okay? You, us, we are going to have this conversation. It's a very important conversation. What happens when in a marriage one partner can no longer satisfy the other partner sexually? What should the partner who's not getting some action do? Anyway, I said the matter tie rapper. So just sit pretty and enjoy yourself. Relax. We will talk about this. Sit down, take your place at the table, and enjoy. Okay?
From look me and look you, we exchange our address. You come my house, yeah, me I come your house, oh. Our love come they grow, we begin the grow. Baby girl, I know fish out. I'm as if I don't defend them. Now you, I to live you, not for me, baby. Much as it, I try me from the begging. Shabby, you leave, go, I agree, me, crazy, begging, they sit to me. Baby, while I'm away. As far as I'm concerned, now love is to stay. Nothing goes separate us. Even in the same year, maybe this is our chance. Let's make use of it. No fooling around. Let's get it over with. Now you, I to live you, not for me, baby. Much as it, I try me from the begging. Shabby, go, I agree, me, crazy,
Okay, beautiful people. I want to believe that you are having fun with me on this dial at this time. For those of you who just tuned in, how are you doing? Yes, I'm live on Facebook, so if you want to see me, you can just run to Facebook right now and join my live, right? You can run to Facebook and join my live. Let's have fun. Let's talk. The conversation on the table tonight, it's Hirapa. But then again, it feels like, actually, I've been told, you guys say it a lot to me, that the things I talk about are things that Hirapa usually. It just feels like I come up with the most difficult situations and I bring it to you so we can deliberate, we can sit on it and, discuss. Okay, but at the end of the day, the truth is, the things that I talk about, the things that I bring to you here on Lovey Dovey are things that are happening. Like, these are people's situations, like they're everyday situations. That is somebody's reality. That is something that somebody is struggling with, right? And so it is, imperative that we have these conversations. Just so if it happens to you, you can make informed decisions. Not like you know what to do, because you might hear that this thing happened to somebody, and if it gets to your turn, you can be clueless. It's possible that if it eventually happens to you, you can just become clueless, right? But the thing is, through it all, the ability for you for you to make informed decisions is what I'm after. So you're not, speaking cluelessly, you're not making decisions, or you're not going to be talking as per you didn't know that people go through this, so you don't feel like you are alone, or like that the first person to experience something, right? So that is the reason for the kind of conversations I bring to the table. Yeah, because people ask me a lot of questions in my DM. And I say, oh, okay, no, don't worry. I will just, come to, I would have these conversations on, on air, and we'll talk about it. So you share your thoughts with me, you let me know what you think of the situation, and then we take it from there. So tonight we're talking sex for days. That's what I captioned it, right? I kept on thinking about the perfect way to describe the conversation on the table tonight. Yeah, I kept on thinking about the perfect way to describe the conversation on the table tonight. But you see, a lot of things happen, and when it comes to society, I'm not doing gender war. I have to put out this disclaimer, because so people not carry me to where I don't know, right? Me, I'm taking you to where you know, but I don't want a situation where people carry me to where I don't know. And that's why I put out this disclaimer. So I'm not doing gender. This is not gender war. I'm not fighting any gender, but I'm going to say some of the things I'll be saying based on what you people have been saying, what the society presents as the norm, what the society says is obtainable, right? And I said sex for days, but the question is the age factor inconsequential where sex is concerned? I know a lot of, I will ask this question again. Is the age factor, how old the person is it inconsequential where sex is concerned? I will explain what I mean. How old a person is, does it matter where sex is concerned? The person's age, does it matter? Will it affect in any way their sexual abilities? Do you think this is something that can happen? Do you think this is something that could happen? Do you think this is a thing where somebody's sexual capabilities are limited or are reduced as a result of how old they are? People in their 60s, 70s, in fact, from 50s, do you still make more? I don't know, but I would love to, if you are listening to me tonight on Lovey Dovey and you are above 50, please, or somebody who is above 50, let's know. Then still they make more. If at all there's still some quack going on there, what's the frequency? How often do they get to quack? Because a lot of things have been said. And while I said I'm not doing gender, I'm not trying to, what's the word now? I'm not trying to provoke any form of, gender-based reactions. I'm going to, when I say the things I'm going to say tonight, when I ask you the questions I'll be dropping tonight, plus I'm going to narrate a story and somebody who needs advice, right? When I say the things I'm going to say tonight, I want you to be objective. Don't make your comments based on your gender. If possible, don't answer the questions based on your gender. Answer the questions as a normal human being. Take out the gender bias. Let's do that thing where you take out the gender bias and just tell me what you think should be done or can be done given the situation, right? That's something I would want to know. So, sex for days is a person's age. Is the age factor inconsequential where sex is concerned? Are we going to say that age does not matter where sex is concerned? As per, look, whether a person is 80 years old, if a person is 90 years old, they can still mingle more. And I'm asking this because I don't want to ask if this applies to men alone or if it applies to women alone. Because for the longest time, right, we've been saddled with the narrative that men can continue to quack even when they are 100 years old. I'm exaggerating with the age now, but you people say 70, you people say 80, and you give the reason for, is the reason you say men are at the price. Yeah, you say men at the price because at 70, at 60, a man can marry an 18-year-old, he can marry a 20-year-old. That is what the society says. I have always kicked against this narrative because I know, right? I know that the sexual energy declines for both genders as they age. But one thing I know that is more factual than the narrative the society pushes to us is the fact that as women age, their sexual drive increases as women age. So when a woman is past menopause and when she's done dealing with the brouhaha that menopause brings, right? When she's done with menopause stuff, the research says that her libido increases after menopause. This is factual. This is proven. You can do your research on your own. Then when people say that a man at 60, a man at 70 can perform optimally, like Optimus Prime, if you've seen that movie. So when people say that a man at 50, a man at 100 can be doing, he can start from Jericho, and he can, he go just they tear they come, and then he'll get to Israel. No, Israel, they do a lot right now. Let's not go to Israel, then they bomb for that side. Let's choose a place that is peaceful. Okay, let's go to Cairo. Let's go to Cairo in Egypt, right? So let's say the man can just be doing his thing from Jericho to Cairo, and all of that. Look, guys, this thing people do where they try to distort the fact. I don't like the fact that every time we have, arguments or conversations that are sexual or, that has to do with love, marriage, relationship and stuff, the society manages to, just turn it into a gender war where people don't look at the facts. You're telling me that a man at 60 can satisfy a girl of 18 or a girl at 20. It beats me because I don't know who told you people that men are immune to illness, that the illness associated with old age. I don't know who told you people that. I don't know who told the society that men are immune to the illnesses associated with old age. Because why are you telling me that a man at 60 can satisfy an 18-year-old girl? Why are you telling me that a man at 70 can satisfy a 20-year-old girl? And that's why he married her. If you people dare talk to me about Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels, If you dare bring it, because except you are inside Regina Daniels' home, except you are there when Ned Woko is climbing Regina, please don't even bring them to the table. If you're going to tell me about anybody, if you're going to be making instances for me, if you want to prove to me that, oh look, a man at 70 can satisfy a woman at 20, no problem. If it's your personal experience, I will listen to you. If it is the experience of somebody you know, but then you have been there, maybe the day they were doing it, you sat down there and you saw how the man was performing. Don't even tell me you heard, because look, I think that it is time for us to change or correct certain narratives. It is totally unfair that we continue to live with, the illusions that a person who is aging, we will begin to compare the person's sexual prowess to that of a young person. And it comes with, being a man. I don't understand the gender bias that is associated with things like this. Honestly. I do not. I do not get it. But really, is it not something to worry about? Is it not something to worry about? Because if you say that people would be fine, if you say that people would live with it, and the funny thing, people expect women to deal with it. If a woman is married, right, to a way older man, and it gets to a point where the man can no longer fulfill her sexual needs, the woman would, I'm yet to see that situation in Nigeria, except it comes from a few women who are daring, but I'm yet to see that situation in Nigeria where a woman would talk about having a sex problem, with her husband, where she's fit, she's ready to perform, she's ready to collect, but her husband cannot give because he's older, and with old age, comes certain limit. In fact, doctors will tell you, guy, if you were doing 3 rounds per hour, don't do it. Reduce it to your age, you get to the point where they begin to check your blood pressure. Okay, blood pressure is a thing. Oh, reduce your sugar intake. Oh, don't eat semo, don't eat gari, don't eat fufu, only do wheat. Oh, do more vegetables, do more fruits, don't eat rice, don't eat so much rice, don't eat that. Oh, do more of beans, proteinous foods, and all of those things. And then this man, who the doctor has told, don't eat that, don't eat those, you're not expecting to come and do how many rounds? With who? A man that they are checking blood pressure every 5 seconds. I don't. It's the irony. It's the ridiculousness for me. And then people. I'm yet to see a Nigerian society where a woman would be advised to go outside and get herself satisfied. Like it doesn't happen in our Nigerian societies. Let a woman complain about not being sexually satisfied by her husband. You will never hear, except it's a few women who would do it. Women would, But the thing is, those women, the kind of women who will do it will be termed bitter feminists. They'll be told, oh, look, people will now condemn them as per trying to encourage this man to go and cheat. It will now be termed, oh, infidelity. You want her to go and cheat. You want her to break her home, blah, blah, blah. But when a man says, my wife cannot set for doggy, the least, as the most insignificant complaint, when a man says, my wife cannot do doggy, the only thing she knows how to do is to lay down there like a log of wood, or she cannot properly position her back, or she doesn't like to, do reverse cowgirl, she doesn't know how to do any style, she just knows how to lay down there. Go and check comment section. Boom! Everybody, find somebody else. Get somebody who will do doggy for you. Get somebody who will bend. The advice would just be always for the man to, because they'll now tell him that, oh, look, you are a man, you are agile, you are this, you are that. So because you are all of those things, you are supposed to, be at the top of your game. You are allowed to go out there and have fun. You're allowed to go out there and be with a woman or find a woman who would satisfy you, who would give you premium enjoyment because you are a man and because you have a functioning penis, you deserve it. But nobody would ever tell a woman that because she has a functioning vagina, she should also go outside to collect. The worst case scenario, she would be advised to get sex toys. They will say, oh, go and use vibrator. But you see that whole idea of going outside to get herself satisfied by another man will never make it to the list of suggestions, will never come to the table, will never be brought to the fore. And I'm asking, why is it that when it comes to things like this, what is good for the goose is never good for what is good for the goose is never good for the gander? Why? Why is it that what is good for the goose is never good for the geese? Because I don't know. But why do we have double standards? Funny thing, I put out this conversation earlier on my WhatsApp list, and the suggestion so far, I did ask. A woman has a problem. Her husband is no longer able to, he no longer gets an erection. He has blamed it on stress. It's not like he's trying to do anything about it all. He's older, his age was not specified, but she's in her 30s. And I don't know how you now expect a woman who is in her 30s to no longer have sex or something. It beats me. But so far, of all the suggestions, I've not seen any single, let this woman go and do her thing outside. And I asked them, if the roles were reversed, would you give this same advice? If the roles were reversed, and then this is a woman who has a problem and she cannot, be her best sexually, would you advise the man to get a vibrator? Okay, if you said there are no vibrators for men, there are sex toys for men. Just in case you don't know, I'm telling you now, there are sex toys for men. Men who use those sex toys, they know where to find it. Don't ask me where to find it. I know I might know where to find it, but I will not tell you people. But just know that there are sex toys for men, right? So there's the option of go and look for this or that outside. Never comes when it's a woman involved. Nobody has told me so far that, oh, look, the man should go and get himself sorted out. Rather, the woman should go and get herself sorted out, But it's always, oh, the man, the woman should, it's her home, adultery, they her eye. If she's asking what she should do, it's because adultery, they her eye. What does she want to go and do outside? Why is she trying to have this conversation? What's the point? And I'm like, what they occur, what they go on, what they really happen for this place? Because I don't understand it. Why do we have these double standards when women are involved? Why can't you, if you can tell a man to go outside and find a woman who would satisfy him where his wife is unable to do that, why can't you also tell a woman to go outside and find a man who will satisfy her where her husband cannot do that? Why? Why is it not an option? Why is it not an option? Because there are a lot of things that I don't understand. A lot of things that make me confused. The double standards. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point in my life where I want to understand the reason for the double standards that exist in the society. Yes, men and women are different. You people have said it countless times. And you say that what works for what a man can get away with, a woman cannot get away with if she tried. Abi, no problem. No one. But as it concerns things like this, because the last time I checked, you people are still the ones that said men can perform at their best even at 70, at 80. Right? I said no problem. So now, as the statement is proving false to its power, what are we gonna do? When conversations like this come up, I laugh, I smile. It pleases me because it doesn't please me to know that somebody is going through this. It pleases me to know that this has made it to the public space and that we would have a conversation about it, and that hopefully people begin to disembark from all the careless cappings. From the things that, that have been said that are totally untrue. Granted, some men can be healthy, right? A healthy male would most likely carry on. But the truth is, if at 30, a healthy male could do TDB, would go plenty rounds. I don't even want to be specific with the rounds now. But if at 30, right, a healthy male can do TDB. I'm summing it up with TDB. TDB as per till daybreak. He can be on top of a woman. He can be inside a woman from, like night till morning. No shaking, no lily. At 60, a healthy male cannot try that. No, you cannot. You can be healthy, but then at 60, what your health, being in a fine shape, would do for you, or what being healthy would do for you, is that it will give you the ability to continue to enjoy sex. So while some people cannot relate because at 60 they don't hang boots, according to that's like one thing that people say, they don't hang boots, they don't close chapter. So while at 60 some men are saying they don't close chapter, they know they may more again. At 60, right, for a healthy male, he can still be able to 1-2 rounds, before it's daybreak and all. And it should just be cool like that. But you see, at 60, a healthy male cannot do TDB. Don't go and deceive yourself. Don't be deceived. And don't try to deceive the public. Don't try to deceive anybody. The truth is, as you age, there's a limit to what you can do. I'm not trying to do this thing where I want to tell men that they cannot do stuff. I know you feel that, you are a man, you can do stuff. No problem. Wait till you are 60 and maybe we can revisit this conversation. But I just need you to know that if by the time you turn 60, right? If you have my contacts, God's willing and we're alive, we're here. You can tell me how your sexual experience is at 60. If there is some sort of disparity between what you could do at 30 and what you can now do at 60. If you're 60 and you can hear me, if you're 60 and you're listening to this conversation right now, when I open the phone lines, please call in and share your experience or experiences. Let's know how your sexual performance is. If you do this thing where you are still very fit, you are capable, you are doing a lot of things at 60 and above, please let us know. But if you're at that point where you have sex quite all right, I'm not saying that men cannot have sex at 60, please. So when you call in, don't misquote me, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying it's impossible for you to continue to have sex at 60 or at 70. I say you go continue. But the truth is, what you would do at 60 or 70 cannot be compared to what you can do at 30 or 40 or at 20. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's be honest. Sometime last week, I said you people should ask girls who do the sugar daddy thing, who does the work. who does the bulk of the work. I know that a lot of, there's this whole thing where some men are randy, some men, you find them you find them where women are. Some men, they are synonymous with sex and women. So the older they get, the more, they want fresh blood. You're looking for young girls to come and service them. Go and check. The girls are actually the ones doing the servicing. The men are not stressing themselves. They'll tell you that the reason they have money so that they can pay these girls. And most of them, what they do, I'm not speaking from life experience, but I've been told one or two things, by some people who are in the business. If you are in the business, you can share your experiences with us. We appreciate such experiences too, right? We're not judging. This is a no judgment zone. So nobody's going to condemn you. We're not condemning anybody. Please. So you see that most of these men do not even do the work. They don't do anything. The girls do the riding. They do the humping. I mean, the men just relax to be taken care of. For them, it's just the whole... Some men will not even have sex all the time. Sometimes it's just about the thrill of being with a younger woman. I've been approached by a man who told me that also he didn't want to have sex with me per se, that he just likes the idea of being seen with a beautiful young woman. So for him, it was he told me, oh, look, no, I don't even have the energy for it. So don't think that I'm coming for sex, so I just want to have sex with you and stuff. I don't have the energy for that. I really don't. No. I'm checking my blood pressure. I'm always going with... The thing was, so he was a client. So at the time, I had to listen to what he had to say, because he was a client, right? And you know how sometimes, because somebody is doing business with you and somebody is giving you money for stuff, so they have this small grace where they can tell you stuff. So his saving grace was that he was a client. He knew he was a client because he told me that he knows the reason I did not, give him one or two was because he was a client, right? So he told me that, look, this was what he wanted. Just, to be seen with a beautiful young woman, according to him. He said, I'm beautiful. I don't know what he was talking about. And other things, I don't know about it, but okay. He said what he said. Nahim Sabi, So, my dear. So he said what he said, and I discovered, okay. For some men, this is actually the thing. This is actually what it's about for them. And not the whole, I want to get on you and I want to be on you from morning till night. They don't have time for that. They don't have the strength. Neither do they have the energy. So when you say that men can do things at 70, men can do things at 80, well, the narrative is changing. I don't know about you. I don't know about your personal experiences. Like I said, when you call in, you can share your personal experiences with us. But the narrative is changing, and it's not like it has ever been true, where you tell us that men can do stuff at 70, they are still doing stuff at 80. Chineke me. In which place? In where? It's just so... I think that some narratives as peddled or as pushed by the society would need to change, going forward. On Lovey-Dovey, we learn, we unlearn, we relearn, because look, some things we have to drop. If you want to migrate more, if you want to quack, just with your full chest and do according to your power. Do according to your strength. There's no be fights, no be competition. There's no trophy anywhere in the world. Forget Guinness Book of Records. But there's no trophy for the man who can continue to do this and that at 80 years old, or the man who can continue to do TDB at 70. You guys, all the very risky. So I just think that we would have to stop a lot of these things. Some things have been, peddled, pushed by the society. We would have to drop it. Where strength and stamina fail, are we going to begin to advise sex toys to the rescue? I did say I was going to share a story with you, and I would love for you to come in with your advice. What you would ask this woman in question to do, A woman says her husband can no longer get it up. Erection OT law. She's in her 30s. Her husband is way older. Thinking his 50s or thereabout. And I said I posted this on I think I just dropped it on WhatsApp, and I dropped it on Facebook as well. On WhatsApp so far, the comments have been hilarious. And I've not seen any single person. The majority of my responders so far have been men. And not one of them have said the woman should go and look for somebody who is going to shine her Congo. Nobody has said that. Nobody has said that she should go and look for a real man to give her some action to get the job done. But if it's a woman who cannot have a child, who is unable to get pregnant, boom, you hear, go and look for a real woman to give you children. If the roles were reversed and it was a woman, rather it was a man whose wife is unable to satisfy him sexually, maybe they don't, their sexual libidos are not at par, yeah? You would now hear, so the man has to go and do his thing outside. Don't kill your wife, if she can't, you can just leave her alone. Don't kill your wife. Just leave her there now. So after if you can be managing one round with her, there are girls outside who will give you 10 million rounds. Bobby, go outside. You people know that this advice, they come. Like, people easily dish out things like that. People easily tell men things like that. But nobody tells a woman to go and sleep outside. Nobody tells a woman to go and have sex outside. I'm asking why. And if you're going to give me the sermon about adultery, don't tell me that. I want to just clear this whole thing. Don't tell me that if you advise a woman to go and have sex, it will be adultery. If you advise a man to go and have sex, what is it? Please, because I would like to know what it is. If you people are doing double standards, I just want you to see that sometimes the double standards, makes sense. If you want to do double standards, do the kind of double standards that, when people think about it, when people see that this is what's going on, it will not be, it won't be such a problem. Do you understand? Do double standards, or create double standards that are relatable, that are factual, that are true, not the ones that are based on one or two things that are not even. Because it beats me really. When I saw this story, I was planning to have that conversation with you people here on Lovey Dovey before I even saw the story. And the story just gave me the push. It just gave me all the ginger. It just came to ginger my swagger, And I said, oh, look, we're going to have this conversation. Dolly. That's Hausa for must. We're going to have this conversation by Dolly, By fire, by force. I said, no, this is not. This is a whole lot. So when people keep saying that men are able to do and undo, I'm not saying that we don't have men who can do and undo. But what's the ratio? How many men at 60 can perform? How many men at 70 can still perform? Like I said, don't come and tell me about Regina Daniels and Ned Nwoko. If you want to tell me about Regina Daniels and Ned Nwoko, except you are inside their bedroom when they are doing what they are doing. If not, don't tell me and don't, even if you come to tell me that, oh look, Regina has 2 boys, Ned, well, look, even a man, as long as a man is not, a 2 minutes man can impregnate a woman. So don't come and tell me that, oh, Regina has 2 boys, and so it means that Ned Nwoko is capable of doing this and that. He's a good man. What's it called now? He's good in bed. He might be. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying you don't use them as an example, because you do not have the facts. You do not know. You actually do not have the facts. Children are not proof of a man's sexual prowess. No. Just in case you do not know. Children are not proof of a man's sexual prowess. They are not. It's sperm, when fertilized with an egg, that makes a child. And a man can ejaculate in 2 seconds. 2 minutes men can get women pregnant, my darlings. So just in case that a woman will just in case you think that a woman will only get pregnant after 10 years or after 10 rounds and 10 hours of sex. No. It can take 2 minutes. As long as the man has ejaculated, the woman is ovulating. Her eggs are ready to receive. They are standing at alert. Attention, they are waiting for sperm. That 2 minutes, and his sperm is not weak. It's not watery. They can fly. They can swim. They are healthy swimmers. The sperm will move to the eggs, and a baby is going to happen. So don't miss me with the whole getting a woman pregnant thing. It is not synonymous to a man's sexual ability. It's not synonymous at all. So miss me with all of that. Okay? So I will do a rundown right about now and open the phone lines for you to join the conversation. So you can talk to me and let me know what you think. Plus, this woman is going to be needing your advice. So I'm going to, give you bits and pieces here of the story. Just basically the details, and then the important details, and then open the phone line so you can call in and share your thoughts. Meanwhile, like I said, I'm live on Facebook. Okay, I did for Facebook, so you can join the live on Facebook for those of you who would love to see my face. Yeah, there's nothing special about the face, but just in case you are in the mood for some pink Barbie. Just in case you're in the mood for some pink Barbie, you can run to Facebook to see my face, to behold the pink Barbie. It's Amaka on Facebook. It's Amaka Felix. I will not say Felix. I will say Felix. It's my name. Thank you. Anyway, those of you on Facebook, let me give a shout out to my beautiful people on Facebook. So there's Jerry Allen. Hey Jerry. There's Radio Boy Names. Hey darling. There's Mbali Sichnaza Delight. Hey baby girl. Hey mama. Oh, there's Loveland. Hey mama. Hello to you beautiful people. So let me do a quick rundown now, and let's see, and open the phone lines for you to call in. Okay, beautiful people. Sex for days. That's the conversation on the table tonight. Is the age factor consequential where sex is concerned? That's the first question. Where strength and stamina fail, sex toys to the rescue? I don't know. What do you think? It's been largely argued that men can still perform optimally as they grow older. Hence, the narrative that men can marry even when they're old. But is this always the case? Can men still perform optimally as they grow older? In a story shared on FB, that's Facebook, a woman is seeking advice on how to go about her husband's sexual inadequacies. Now, this woman says her husband is an amazing man, right? He's a good husband, he's a good father, but for a while now, she has not been getting some action. Why? Oga says he is stressed. So, the thing is, he does not even have an erection at all. He cannot even get his penis up. Like, it's not coming up at all. And Oga says it's, stress. Actually, it's been proven scientifically that stress can, affect a person's sexual performance, right? So the stress thing is a fact, right? And then this man is older, you get. And apart from the whole sex issue, there has been the whole, so here we are, and Oga cannot get it up because no action, otilo, and stuff. So she's seeking advice on how to go about her husband's sexual inadequacies. He's older, she's younger, and still very much in need of sexual pleasure. Her husband no longer gets an erection. So, what do you think? First question, what would you advise this woman to do? That's the first question I have for you. Second question, sex toys to the rescue. Would you advise this woman to get sex toys? Is it something you advise her to use? And then my third question would be, do you believe stress affects sexuality? Can you relate? Do you believe stress affects sexuality? Can you relate? Is it something you can relate with? Is it something you agree with? Anyway, let's talk. Phone lines are open. 0810 9510 951, 0810 9510 951, 0817 0000 951, 0817 0000 951. So call in and tell me what you think. Okay, so I have my people on Facebook. There's Natty. He says hi, beautiful. Oh, hi, Natty. And Balanced Diet. Hey, boo, how are you? Okay, so calls are in. Let's get to hear from them. Okay, so first caller. Hello, good evening. Actually, it's morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. Try calling again. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, please. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Gorgeous Amaka Felix.
Good morning, Casey. How are you?
I'm fine. Elective on Port Harcourt.
No, you're welcome.
Think, Bobby. Oh. I don't know what to start from.
I don't know what you're talking about, but just shall say what you want to say. And come and be going.
First of all, your gown is super gorgeous. Whenever I'm trying to appreciate your look, I'm tempted to use the F word because that's the way that can really bring out the expression or my expression of how much I appreciate what I'm saying actually. Anyway, let me just have to do without the F. What they call it again? The off shoulder. Yes, it's off shoulder, right? Yes. And then the sleeveless, one hand off shoulder with the sleeves. It's like super gorgeous. And then the length of the gown is the passes everyone. More like, oh my goodness. I'm actually big notes when the street in Russia. They went all about bringing out the super gorgeous. Anyway, let me just calm down because if I continue, I will finish my exam appreciating you.
Wahala. Oh yeah, please.
But you look amazing tonight.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. I would love to answer this question. By the way, is the person listening?
Maybe.
Sorry?
Maybe.
Okay. For me personally, I wish the person was listening, or if she's listening. There is a friend of mine who is yes, of course, definitely the number one thing is to get enough rest. But besides the rest, there's this arrogant tea. A friend of mine is actually into if you get this tea. If there's a tea for the male, there's a tea for the female, yes, and for the male one, it cannot be said.
So you would, so you're suggesting that the man gets help, like that type of help.
Yes.
Okay.
I know personally this my friends stuff their work. And then concerning your second question. Hello?
Yeah, sex toys to the rescue. Would you advise the woman to use sex toys in the meantime?
Well, I would say yes, but the thing is, for me, in my own opinion, forget about what the whole adult movie industry they show us. If you want to enjoy the use of sex toys, for me personally, the way I see it is usually if the partners are involved in it. Yes, for me personally, if the man is down with it, trust me, sex toys will be definitely something that a couple would definitely want to get involved in their sexual life. Personally, I would definitely get it. I would personally want to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me just answer and admire this celestial being looking at my screen.
Bye. Come on, be going. All right, there. Take care. Thank you so much for calling. Okay, keep your calls coming and then send in messages to 0701 9339 962. Okay, 0701 9339 962. Let's talk, beautiful people. What do you advise? What do you advise? What should be done? You know, what should this woman do given the situation? Would you advise sex toys? Would you say she should go and, do her thing outside? Yeah, what do you think? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Please come again.
Name and location. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah? What did you say? You're welcome.
I like the drum and like and my third mind.
Indeed.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Oh, your line is breaking.
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Good. Thank you. That I've got that angle of and someone and some that as well good younger guy, man and well know how they are. But coming for the aspect of man, I wouldn't advise or rather I would.
Okay, let me get what you're saying because I'm struggling with your network. You would not advise her to use sex toys. Is that what you said? Hello?
Hello, yeah. Yeah, is that what I'm saying?
Okay, you would not advise her to use sex toys. Oh.
I would advise her to use.
Okay. So what would you advise her to do?
I would advise her if she manages. peradventure something was happening. I said married. Knowing too well that man wants
Your network is not helping matters. I'm trying to pick out what you're saying. Are you saying she should manage the situation?
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
Anything going to do at point, she do the wrong thing.
Okay.
Not just, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
It has been done. So correcting it, correct it, right? That's my plan.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So I was able to make out one of the things, but he says no sex toys. She should not use sex toys. Okay. I forgot to ask. If the roles were reversed, if he would give the same advice to a man. Okay. I'm going to do this thing where I'll begin to ask you guys, right? If the roles were reversed, would you be giving the same advice to a man? If, a man says he complains about something, that's concerning sex with his wife, would you tell him to, manage with her, manage the situation and stuff? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Dada.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Malo.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, listening to this kind of case, let me say, mostly the men suffers it more than the woman. So the only thing there is just to find solutions for the man. Because using sex toys cannot help.
It cannot satisfy the woman, Abby.
Can't satisfy like the way the man would do. Okay, once you're using sex toys, let me say, you'll be alone. You'll be the one doing it yourself, and not enjoyable that way. So sex is about two. One of my guys said only two can fuck.
Okay, but no F word, please. Just say only two can have sex, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I get it. So, and for the man also, using a stress or any other thing as excuse, not welcome. Because as a woman, if you can't satisfy her the way she wants, and she fix her, some ladies will even go out without even letting you know. She that's even trying to get.
Oh, so sorry about that. Maybe you can call to conclude. Hello. Hello, yeah, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Never mind.
Oh, welcome, never mind.
You have to break. If age is a fact. Really, I do not think age can be a factor. Because we have had issue of men much younger who should marry even between their age bracket that are still having or suffering from same issue. I can tell a story about an uncle whom I grew up with, even at 75 or thereabout. I think the last wife was in age mate with his first daughter. That is, he's married his daughter's age, and the man was sexually active to the point that one of the man's daughter had to take that the last wife to do a family plan, secretly a family planning for her, because that man could not allow that woman to chase the woman over the street. Yes.
So at 75, he was sexually active still.
Yes. Even my late at over 80, he was still impregnating. So I do not think that age is a factor. I can also tell you already there is a white man I know very well that every day he has a sex and with much younger girls. Yet he is doing magic because he is also beating those girls hands down. So age is not a factor. Maybe sometimes that man, maybe when he was much younger, he did some hard job that has to break him down. Or the kind of way that man is teaching is affecting his sexual activeness.
Okay.
Yes, it could be that there is an health issue or the heart is not in order. Because when the mind is not in proper state, it can also affect the erection. So several factors will be responsible.
Okay.
For the woman, I lack the idea, the knowledge of what to say. If she cannot stay, let her quit the marriage.
Okay, so you would rather she quits the marriage than to use sex toys?
No. She can't place herself with that toy because she may likely one day jump at one young man. Because that thing cannot give you.
Okay. Let's see that, never mind. But I think we got your point. You said sex toys cannot be, you cannot do what a man can do. Okay. Let me sum it up that way. Okay, beautiful people. Keep your messages coming. 0701-9339-962. Text messages and WhatsApp messages as well should be sent to the number 0701-9339-962. For calls, let's do 0810-9510951, then 0817-00000951. So, call the one that you desire. And join the conversation. Let me know what you think. What would you advise someone to do? Should she get sex toys? Or should she go outside to do her thing? Should she go and get her Congo shined outside? Okay, so what would you advise given this situation? Is the age factor inconsequential where sex is concerned? That's also part of the questions. Is the age factor inconsequential where sex is concerned? Would you say that, oh, look, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how old the person is. That what matters is, can you perform? Can you not perform? That's something that people would ask, okay? Do you believe stress affects sexuality? I did say that, okay, yes, there are pointers that sex can be an issue. What's it called now? Stress, rather, can be a contributing factor to, a person's ability to perform or not perform, to overperform or underperform where sex is concerned, right? The issue of stress, it's there, it's a thing. Yeah, but how long? Is it the type of stress that would be fixed, with good enough rest, good food, bed rest, and all that? Would it be fixed? Can it be fixed? Well, that's what we're looking at tonight. So let me know via your calls and via your messages. I see your messages coming in. Send them early, please. Okay, the earlier the better for those of us who'll be texting. Okay, so text away. Make sure to keep it coming. All right, so I'll get back to the phone lines now. Hello, good morning. Yes, please. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Raymond.
Raymond, where are you calling from?
Calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome.
Right. I'm just listening to your conversation. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that the last caller that called said that somebody that is up to 75 years can perform very well. But for me, the betting is not using ordinary. Person is taking something hard. He's taking a hard dog.
No. You don't have any proof of that. And it doesn't mean that it is everybody. He says this is somebody he knows.
Okay.
I did mention that it's not like it's not possible. It is possible. But it has to be for an incredibly healthy male. A man who has issues will not, even at 40, some men at 40, 50 cannot do anything anymore if they are unhealthy. So it's about being healthy, really, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not, we cannot limit everything to, okay, taking drugs or taking anything that would boost sexual performance. It's not everybody that has to do that. I did say that medically, it is possible for a healthy male to still be able to have sex, right? But there's still going to be a difference between what he can do, what a man at 75 can do, and what you can do at your age.
Yes.
So what would you advise this woman to do in this case? Do you think she should get sex toys, or she should go outside and, get herself sorted out?
I would like her to manage it, the man.
She should manage with the man.
Yes.
If the roles were reversed, would you ask the man to manage with his wife?
I don't know.
Okay, Raymond.
I don't know what to say.
Okay. Thank you for calling, Raymond. Okay. Thank you for calling. I like the way he laughed and he said he didn't know what to say. Because look, at the end of the day, right, it's easier said than done. It's easy for you to say somebody should. It's easier for people to say the woman should manage. The society always says the woman should manage. Usually that's the narrative. Oh, manage. But how many people will tell a man to manage? If I did say, I'll be reading some comments for you, that people have dropped so far. A lot of men will not be asked to manage. The society will not tell men to manage. They hardly ever do that. There's always a quick solution for the men. But for the women now, I'm hearing manage. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Amaka, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Don Man.
Why are you calling from Don Man? You're welcome.
Your voice is serenous and infectious.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me ask you, where is the place of fidelity, moral rectitude, and honesty in marriage? Some men stay, like I stay in Port Harcourt, and my spouse is in other states, and sometimes for 6 months, I don't even remember it because I'm working. I go out in the morning, I come back in the evening. If there's no arousal from anybody, as I'm talking to you, I'm alone in the house and in the flat, as a matter of fact. And I have my arrangement where I'm here in Port Harcourt, and my family is somewhere else. And I have the assurance and the trust. From the other side, there is also assurance and the trust that in marriage there is fidelity, there is a covenant. So when you begin to talk about sex toys, going outside, even the question of what if the roles were reversed, those reversal and all that, are they cued into a marriage covenant? If you're married, you're married.
So whatever happens, you should deal with it.
I'm coming. There is also the injunction that you don't live. Some people say that we don't have sex until we get married. But if you don't have sex until you get married, as some people have always said it, that it is, that marriage is, honorable to a bed undefiled. And we quote it. and you even as a woman would like to quote it, and you now marry the person, and you find that the person has certain shortcomings and weaknesses, then you begin to introduce sex toys, begin to tell them about going outside, or if roles were reversed and all that. So I think that the narrative is actually not in tandem with the principles and philosophies of marriage. People talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, going outside and doing all that, which is immorality, at the highest level. That's a different thing. But if you're talking about marriage, if the man is not able to do this, the man is not able to do that, that is the nitty-gritty of, taking an oath before the crowd.
For better, for worse.
Good. You know it all. So some people, some young men, at the age of 35, may not have strong erection. Some men at the age of 70, because of physiology, there are some people who are physically strong at 75. They have erection at 75. They don't even need drugs. There are people who have morning erection at 60. Some boys, maybe either by omission or commission, have been able to have began to have, a weak erection at the age of 30 and 35. And they tell the girl after marriage, that look, I have this issue, but you have to, and the girl will say, let's look for solution. So if there is a problem within them, they have to find solution. If there is no solution, then you hand it over to the Almighty.
Okay.
Instead of go outside, do this, that. All those things are actually out of the package. It's a total package.
All right.
And once you take in the package, whatever you find in it, is your portion.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so the thing is, he's coming in with the for better for worse mentality, right? Which is what marriage actually stands for. But you see, unfortunately, we seem to have left the for better for worse situation in marriages. The fact that marriage comes with the package of whatever you see inside, you will deal with it. And it's unfortunate because we now do this thing where people are expected to deal with stuff, right? That's the idea. That's the whole idea, actually. It's supposed to be for better, for worse. But a situation where the society has started to, carve or make excuses for what can be tolerated and what cannot be tolerated, what should be tolerated and what should not be tolerated by one person, by the male gender specifically. It is how the society started the whole. If a couple is childless, they don't see it as men are never called barren. A man is never going to be referred to as barren. As a matter of fact, if a couple are unable to have children, the eyes and the tongue will be wagging at the woman, never the man. Sometimes it is the man who has the fertility issues. Sometimes he's the one who is impotent. Sometimes he's the one who has watery sperm and is unable to impregnate a woman. But the society will never ever say that the man should go and do this or should go. It's always the woman who is asked to make the sacrifices. As opposed to the whole idea, as opposed to the actual idea, as opposed to what marriage actually stands for or what marriage is about. So I get where he's coming. I get his point if he's saying that the package is anything you see inside, collect them. But since that's not what we're living by anymore, let's now go with the flow. So if people are saying that men are allowed some, leverage, right? How about the women? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, please. Name and location, please.
I called before.
Okay, we're trying to finish, right?
Yes. So that part you just saying now about the woman being blamed if you are married and then inconceived of a thing. Men are worse. Once you have money and then your wife didn't conceive, you start tagging you ritual.
That's like 1 out of 1,000,000 cases.
Yeah. So for the woman, there is nothing like manage there. Yes.
Okay.
Because anything you manage, you definitely get tired of managing.
All right.
And then just like you're killing yourself slowly, that is the managing. So if she can't endure it's better she quits.
All right. Thank you.
I'm talking about the age factor, about the sex of 18. This sex of 18 is from the blood and the strength you have as a man. And then once you are growing older, those strengths are reducing. When, let me say, at your 20s, if you make up to 30 to 1 hour, going to your 40s, it will reduce because why? You're advancing by age.
Okay.
The blood flow are reducing. Your heart is pumping, let me say, less blood than before. So you don't tell me you do 1 hour and then at 70, you're still doing the same 1 hour of 18. And that means there's something behind it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let me quickly move to Facebook now and say hello to my Facebook people. Okay, so I have some comments here. I'm going to be taken. Okay. So Natty says she can use sex toys as long as it's not with another man. Balanced Diet says the comedian Balanced Diet, he says the man is entitled to more than one wife, remember. Meanwhile, what does she even need the sex for self? All these things do not matter in heaven, I beg. She should, okay, his first comment was, she should help him seek help. I think there are medical remedies to that. Okay, there may be. There's Wisdom. Is this Wisdom Globe? I see a message from Wisdom. Let me take that one. Okay, Wisdom Globe says, love you, darling. Oh, thank you, Wisdom, for loving me. Love you right back. Okay, so balanced diets. I just feel like I'll come back to you. What does she need the sex for? But anyway, you are a comedian, so I know that you are joking. Anyway, beautiful people, let's keep it coming, okay? Let's keep it coming. Here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please. Good morning. Name and location. You're welcome.
Yes. You see, sex before marriage is not good. Because if you do that, you have to be testing and testing. There's no how you test and get everything you want in a woman. It's a sacred institution. There's what we call a period of probation or something you have to study. It is allowed, but not sex before marriage. You look at the person's behavior, the way he talks, the way he dresses, the way he do things, the way he wash. If you can accommodate, you have to take it. Anything you see, inside, you just manage. After marriage is a management company. There's no perfect marriage. Perfect man, perfect woman. No, not on this planet Earth that is so corrupt. By just managing ourselves. And then you husband that say, who are you? What this and that? They have to have little challenges and quarrels because they come from different backgrounds. There is no how we said before that all these things will not be there. So you don't go against the Bible injunction. Marriage. When you study your marriage, you marry. And go ahead. What is the sense of marriage and sex? Is to procreate according to Bible injunction. Go here into the water and multiply. That's what that is. It's not just sex and a bit to pursue that one. Again, some people who are childless these days could get related to the man, as he said, or to the woman. But for you to avoid that one, before 30, you have to get married when you are strong and everything is working. It's not when you have finished your stamp. Man, just you are now become nonsense and you say you become nonsense. You cannot get pregnant for a woman. Woman cannot get pregnant for you. And the woman too has messed her up and destroyed all the eggs. And coming for marriage with a white gun. And I thought you have gotten something.
All right.
Get married. And you cannot see if it is if proper you get virgin. We don't have virgin again. If it has, I don't know. So I don't know. Do it early so that you can get, because the sense of marriage is not sex, it's for procreation. After sex, you can get it anywhere. You can buy it don't at any market.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. I want to go back from outside.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Balanced Diet texted some more. He said I should read all his messages. I'm just seeing the messages, the rest of them. He says, okay, secondly, now waiting fitter. Now them they find chief. And if Oga say na stress, then it's stress. Case closed. Okay, Balanced Diet, you've made your point. Anyway, 0701-9339-962. Keep your messages coming. I want to take some more messages now. Let's see. This one is from Emmanuel Ude from PH. He says, make she go get her thing outside though before Konji go kill her. Okay, this is coming from Emmanuel. His name is Emmanuel. All right. Thank you for texting, Emmanuel. I think this is the first person who is actually saying she should go get herself sorted outside. I said the rest of the messages I've been getting that I got earlier, nobody has said she should go and do anything outside. And so far, I've had 2 callers who, have channeled their comments to the sanctity of marriage. We understand that is something that should exist, right? That's the plan, actually. That is the plan. It's supposed to be when you carry, you don't carry. But is that what we're doing nowadays? Well... Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Maka?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome, Jude.
Please, I was listening to what I don't know when I left also what was the question then.
Okay, so I mentioned the story. I narrated the story, not in details though, but about a woman whose husband can no longer have an erection, right? And then she's asking what she should do. The husband is older than she is, way older. She's in her 30s and stuff. So, should she use sex toys? Should she go ahead and follow somebody else outside that will get the job done? And then is the age factor inconsequential where sex is concerned? Like, how old the person is, does it matter when it comes to sex?
First of all, I don't think that she should, if she can use sex toy and satisfy herself, it's okay. But for us to blame somebody, it's not right. I guess it's for me, I will the marriage. Like I will divorce the marriage.
If you were?
If I were actually, I will divorce the marriage. And also, I think that this part of it is special. Yes.
Oh, okay, lost you there, Jude. But you were saying that if you were in her shoes, you would dissolve the marriage. All right, let me take another message here. This one says, "Good morning, Amaka. I'm Willex. A man and a woman are endowed with 2 vital hormones, estrogen and testosterone. Men have more of the testosterone and less estrogen, while women have more estrogen and less of testosterone. This is the order God created a man and a woman. As both of them grow older, the level of these hormones decline, and this significant impacts on both their sex drive, and this has significant impact on both their sex drives and ability to perform at their optimum level. These are incontrovertible facts. After menopause, many women experience a significant decrease in sex drive due to hormonal changes, particularly the decline in estrogen, which can lead to vaginal dryness and discomfort, making sex more painful and unenjoyable, and also sexual response. No sexual response or desire. Apart from hormonal changes, other factors such as stress, relationship issues, family, children, and financial issues, fatigue, and certain medical conditions that come with age can also impact a woman's sex desire after menopause. Sex for men after 50 is more medicinal than pleasure. This is because they need regular ejaculation to keep the prostate gland free from chemical agents that can cause enlargement of the prostate. Okay. My advice is that the man can apply other non-penetrative options to satisfy his wife, like oral sex or using his fingers. Okay. So nowhere in Willex's message says the woman should get it done. He's saying that, okay, the man can, since he's the one with the problem, he can go ahead and prefer the solution. And the solution could be, oral sex. There's oral sex as an option. All right. Hello.
I thought that.
All right.
claim to us our friend, she should try. And like, it cannot go to the test or autism. So you should prevent from following that man, like from following another hospital, for example, outside. Instead of how to do it, it's better for her to be the marriage and I might have to remind her again. Like when she's still young, all this what is the man is older than her, so she should like do the marriage and also all this marriage something like. I think when someone is married, like the person should be considering the age, because I can't be like 30 years now because I'm married 50 years old man. Because then the man like that and to all this kind of thing, when you start doing things, they say I go like I'm not a man, so why for someone up on that? I think that when someone is getting married, he or she live. Can you hear me?
Of course. All right.
I think that when someone is getting married, she used to be considered of this age to avoid all these kind of things in the future.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jude. Hello.
I called back at the one go.
Oh, okay. Please 30 seconds. We're rounding up.
I know. And what I'm saying is, if the man cannot perform, and that's why the experts say that if you want to marry early, when all the estrogen and the OG has not died. Now, if it happens, the men marry like at the age of 40 and this and that. If that happens, the woman has to endure. Even if they tested and said before, they have to endure.
So if the roles were reversed, are you also going to tell the man to endure? So anything that's happening, both of them should endure.
Should endure.
Okay. All right.
Look to God.
All right. Thank you.
It is not for coming. You come back. When you go out, you have to throw the marriage.
All right.
Because many things might happen. The woman may get pregnant there, but it's not the blood, the genital blood of the family.
All right.
And because attractive.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. This message says, "Hello, Pink Pretty." Okay, I said I was, a pink Barbie today. Lovely greetings, Amaka. My take on the conversation is that men are men and sex toys are sex toys. Therefore, neither of them should be used as a replica for intercourse. If a woman isn't sexually satisfied, she's got the right to leave. I'm Michael from Iwofe. Okay, there's something about this Michael's message that I like. But I'm not going to say it so much because people will now carry me to where I don't know. So I want to read some other messages and I'll have to run to WhatsApp now, to get some more messages done. Okay. Okay, Choice sent this in from Lagos. Choice said she should rest and remember the good old days or get a vibrator. Okay, all right, that's fine. Here I'm going to read another message. Oh, okay. Charlie says she should get a dildo. Okay. Okay, yeah. Jamin texting from Asaba says she should endure. She too should curtail her libido by then. Okay. No one. No one. All right. That's okay. Bumsy texting from Abuja says she should sleep and hope on God that the man would have energy later in life. Okay, so Sandy says she should age and stress with him accordingly so that she would not have the urge as well. Okay, sharp. Okay, beautiful people here. And let's listen to this, and then I think that should be our last message.
Well, what should she do? If the man has acknowledged the fact that, okay, it's due to age and stress, then I think you should be more open to, solutions. So one of the solutions can be, some multivitamins, some supplements that can help boost his tensile strength, Then also, if he's stressed, there are definitely some relaxation kind of should I call them therapy that he can undergo that can help him with that. I don't think you should give up, or she should give up on him anyways. But if he's stubborn about it and not wanting to do anything about it, let him just be ready, because maybe another person might have to carry her. Another person might enter her eye and she will go, because she's a human being. It's not like I encourage it anyways, but there's a level to which a human being can bear such burden. You get, it's not easy. But if definitely anybody that has a problem should be open to solutions. I will not advise she should give up on him. But if you be say you get as you done the be for inside, you know what, do the needful, then maybe that guy need deliverance, or he might end up losing his wife. So that's it.
All right. So here, this message here says, make she go get, okay, there's another message from another Emmanuel. It says, make she go get her sex outside, because if na man know, he go get outside. This sex of a thing, no be everybody know how to do it. Okay. All right, this is from Emmanuel. This is another Emmanuel. The Emmanuels are a large army tonight. The Emmanuels are a large army tonight. Okay. No problem. Oh, thank you so much. Anyway, beautiful people. So I'm just going to come and be going, because, we are here. So I will say some final things, here and there before we go, right? Now, I get the whole, marriage is, let's respect the sanctity of marriage and stuff. But the problem is, we seem to be past, we seem to have moved past the era where we want to tell each other that, look, this is what is obtainable. This is what we should be doing, and all of those things. It's a whole lot going on. I understand it, but where the society no longer wants us to, live by the rules that are supposedly guiding this institution called marriage. What will we can do inside? What's the way forward? Look, it's a hard pill to swallow, but I'm just saying that it's time for us to, level things up, even things out. Remember that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If we're going to go all in and say that people should learn to sit inside their marriage irrespective of whatever difficulties come with it, marriage is not a bed of roses. So, of course, you should expect that challenges will come. Trials would come. That's why I always say, it is important that you realize that it is you and your partner against the world, and not you against your partner. So, you should not be the weapon fashioned against your partner. Your partner should not be the weapon fashioned against you. So, marry right. Let God help you to marry right. But until then, please, you and I who make up the society, it will be in your best interest if you avoid being womb watchers. For those of you who are checking when a woman is pregnant, where she's not pregnant, what is holding this couple from giving birth? They married 3 years ago. Why they never born? It no concern you. Oh, who is not doing this? It no concern you, dear society members. Please. The earlier we learn to stop putting so much pressure on people and let them live their lives, the better for you and I. Because the thing is, it is the fact that we keep pushing people. That's why they make bad decisions. So you see a situation where this woman she's in this situation. She's in this dilemma, and people are saying, "Oh, do this or don't do that." And if the roles were reversed, they would probably saying, "Oh, the man should go and have sex outside. He should go and do this." It's the unfortunate thing about it. It's just looking like the sanctity of marriage is done and dusted in our society today. That should not be the case. But, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, that's it on tonight's episode of Lovey Dovey. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you for texting. If I didn't take your call, I'm sorry. It's Tuesday. It's the first day of April. And whatever you're going to be doing that you want to do and tell somebody April Fool, be careful, oh. For those of you who have plans to prank anybody, if you have plans to prank anybody, make sure that your prank is not a dangerous prank. Please be careful of whatever pranking you're going to be pranking people. Okay, it's the first day of April. Amazing things would happen going forward. It's a new month. I'm the first person to say welcome to April, and let's have God's blessings, more of God's blessings and more of God's grace guiding us as we step forward. Enjoy Frank Edwards' wedding day. Well, we spoke about marriage, so let's play wedding day. Okay, beautiful people. Till I come your way again, which should be later tonight if everything goes according to plan. So 11:15 p.m. Lovey Dovey continues, right? Later tonight. It's Today95.1 FM. I'm on Facebook as Amaka Felix, Amaka Amaka, and then Felix. That's Felix. You people call it Felix, but I call it Felix because not my name. Thank you. So Amaka Felix, I'm on Facebook. When you find my page, you will know my page, right? You will just know there are some things about the page that will let you know that this is me. The Amaka of Today95.1 FM. Enjoy the rest of your day, beautiful people. From me to you, it's a good morning and good night.
Way, now my wedding day. I dream say you carry my baby. My children go to call you mama, 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 mama. No be auntie. My mama go to call you yawo. My papa go to call you mama, asama. I dream say I they call you wife, baby, baby. Anytime you see me, I'm money. Make you know say I dey pray to God. Make my dream don't just walk up past like motor. Make Baba God snap us photo. Baba God now your hand I dey hold. I know say you too much, oh, and you don't do I'm again. Oh. Today not the day. I know me boyfriend again, oh. You know me girlfriend again, oh. Now my wife you be so. Come make a carry you go. Gotta go answer my prayer. What God and join together. Let no man put us under. That is why I surrender myself to you. 1 plus 1 equals to 1. Oh yeah. I surrender myself to you. Yeah, oh. 1 plus 1 equals to 1. Oh yeah. It used to be a dream, now not reality.